Guys, working in luxury retail is not easy, okay? You get very traumatized from people screaming at you, from people demanding things, feeling entitled all the time. So honestly, I guess you have to have empathy for these sales associates as well and see the position that they're in. They're there to make money. They're there to perform. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. Finding it hard to think of topics to make for videos, and I've been kind of feeling like not spending as much money on luxury, particularly because the prices are so damn high now. I feel like the prices are going to go up even higher once all the tariffs are implemented. I know that they're kind of negotiating everything now, but I just feel like it's probably inevitable these luxury brands are going to up their prices even more. It makes me feel like I'm probably never going to shop like from the boutique again, because I feel like the luxury prices in the boutique are just so high. And having worked in a secondhand luxury consignment store, I'm currently working at the purse fair. I guess I have a whole new perspective and to see how much some of these bags can plummet in value when they're secondhand, and I don't really feel, I guess, as much inclined to spend full price on a bag anymore when you can literally buy Birkins and Kellys for sometimes less than the retail price secondhand, given that they're also, you know, pre-loved condition. But recently I've felt less inclined to pay full retail for things, and I did get a question recently asking me about shopping in the Hermes store and how likely it is to get offered a non-quota bag, and whether you can get offered a non-quota bag if you haven't shopped there before. And it's from a lovely subscriber. I think their name was A Girl Who Flies. Thank you so much for your question. She is actually seeking to get a garden party or a Bolid, and she was wondering if she could be able to get those easily in the boutique without any pre-spend. So she is just used to usually shopping pre-loved, and she's never bought a bag directly from Hermes. I started out collecting Hermes bags secondhand as well, and it wasn't until, I guess, a few years later that I started to buy bags from the store. And at the moment, I do hear a lot of people, I mean, in this era, talking about their Hermes journey and how much they have to spend to get offered even a non-quota bag. I always felt that playing that game was a huge gamble. And yeah, although I have bought bags from the store, I never really went in hoping or getting my hopes up into being offered a bag, to be completely honest. Now, is it possible to be offered a bag without spending money? I honestly think it is. I mean, maybe it's not always. It definitely depends on the manager in the store, what they're willing to allow. And then it also depends on the sales associate you get and a bit of luck. For example, I bought my Her bag from the boutique a few years ago after just walking in, and I just saw it on the shelf and I asked if I could buy it, and I bought it. So that was just from walking in and seeing it on the shelf. And that can sometimes happen if you see a bag that doesn't have the sign next to it. So they usually put on display that the bag is not for sale or it's display only. That means that they can't sell the bag to you. But if there is no sign next to the bag, then you can buy the bag. I have seen like definitely garden parties, you know, Her bags on display with no sign. So definitely, I would just try my luck, walk into the store. Something like a Her bag, I think, is pretty easy to get. When it comes to a garden party, I think that wouldn't be too hard to get either. Obviously, if you purchase like a scarf or a mug or something, and then you ask the person who's helping you whether they can let you know when they get in a garden party, that might help your chances out too. But honestly, not always, because these sales associates serve so many clients every day, and they get such an influx of requests of people asking them for bags. I mean, I wouldn't blame them for forgetting all the people who ask them for a bag. So if you ask a sales associate, can you let me know when you have a garden party, and this is like the first time you've seen this sales associate, it might not happen that they will contact you. It might happen if you have if you kick it off really well with them and they remember you, they might, but I don't know. Also, I guess if you buy something super expensive, that will probably help them remember you. But, you know, when it comes to the non-quota bags, I think you could just get it without spending very much money, if not any money. As I said, if you walk in and the sign is not on the display, you could probably get the bag. When it comes to the Bolid, a lot of the Bolids that in the store at the moment are the 1923 version. So what I've noticed is that on the Hermes website, they often will show the mini Bolid, the Bolid on wheels, which is like the limited edition one, or they'll show the 1923 Bolid 25, like this size. And these are like the current selections that Hermes seem to be producing. Whereas the Bolid 27 with the circle and the Bolid 31 and the Bolid 35, I have a feeling Hermes are not making those as much as of recently, but I've never even seen them in the store in the last few years. Now, I did remember seeing a Bolid 31 with the circle back in like 2018 on the website, 2019, but as of recently, they're only doing the other proportion. So if you do want a Bolid from the boutique, I totally think it's possible, but it will only be the mini size, the 25 size, and perhaps the Bolid on wheels if you have the budget for that, because I have seen that available to buy on the website. Now that brings me to my next point, which is you don't have to necessarily go to the store to get the non-quota bags. I mean, you could definitely stalk the Hermes website, especially if you're in Australia. I've noticed so many non-quota bags pop up on their website recently, like the Lindy 26. I've seen that pop up multiple times. Now, whether it is like, if you order it, whether it will go through or not, I can't say. I have heard that sometimes it says add to cart, but then you can't add it to cart. But, you know, bags like the garden party, like this, I have seen pop up on the website like multiple times. And even, you know, there's a new mini garden party. I think that one might be a little bit more challenging to get because that's a new bag. And quite possibly you need to visit the store a few times before being offered that. I don't know for sure. But yeah, I would say something like the mini her bag, the mini garden party and the mini her bag actually would have more of a current demand. Whereas the Garden Party 30 probably would be easier just to get in the store. And then also I've noticed on the website even a lot of interesting other bags pop up that are not quota bags. Like, yeah, definitely I've seen the her bag pop up quite a lot and you can just add it to your cart. So I think actually I've noticed recently the Australian website have a lot more bags on it than in the past, especially back in like 2020. There used to be like hardly any bags on the website. So I think your chances of getting a new non-quota bag are actually like pretty high. I mean, even I got my mini Lindy from the boutique, but I will say that when I was offered this bag, they did check my profile and they did see my purchase history, and I would have, you know, bought a few things here and there in the past, so maybe that did help them get the approval to offer me the bag, because there is that, I guess, that they do like to reward people who go into the store more. Now these days, guys, I haven't bought much from Hermes at all, to be honest, so I think my chances to be offered a bag would be not as high. But I will say, if I just walked into the store, like with my her bag situation, and then they, like, for example, if I saw, like a garden party on the shelf without the sign, anyone can buy that. So there's definitely like bags available. And I think in times actually where people are trying not to spend as much money, you will have more of a chance to get bags as well, because, you know, especially a few years ago, I think it was a lot more competitive. Now, I think it still is super competitive to get Birkins and Kellys, particularly in the neutral colors and the 25 size. I think if you're going to Hermes and like strategically buying stuff that you don't really like, that can be a bit of a dangerous game to play, honestly, because you don't know how long it's going to be before you get offered a bag. Like, whereas if you go to Hermes and you don't really care if you're offered a bag and you're just buying stuff because you want it, like scarves and stuff, that's how I've always personally done Hermes. Like, I've never gone in there strategically buying stuff because I want to get offered a bag, because I know I'm up against very, very wealthy people and I am not I cannot compete, guys. It's just impossible. So I, you know, over the years got offered bags purely based on luck. you know, there were times where I asked my sales associate about, like, you know, the Lucky Daisy collection, and they offered me this bag, and that was just because they managed to have a shipment in and it was in that shipment. So that was luck. Like, honestly, sometimes if you get going on a day where they have bags and you just ask, like particularly the non-quota bags, they might just offer it to you. So I think there is that chance, but it definitely depends on how generous they're feeling that day. And it's particularly, it would be the upper management's decision whether they want to release bags that day. So it's purely luck, I would say, but it doesn't hurt to try, you know, try, as long as you don't get, I guess, too invested into, or take it too personally if you don't get offered a bag, because yeah, I mean, the thing is, guys, there is the pre-love market. So I've never felt super desperate to be offered a bag because I've always been shopping pre-loved, and I know if I really don't think I'm going to get it from the store, I'll just buy it secondhand. And often with the you know, the non-quota bags, you can get them for a lot less than the retail. So like things like my Lindy bag, I think I paid a little bit much for this. It was around 8,000 Australian dollars. I have seen similar ones go for less than that now. But now the retail's about, you know, 15, 16,000. This is in the Swift leather. So, you know, I'm saving 50% off there. So that I don't mind about whether I was offered it in the store or not. But, you know, obviously things like the Birkin and the Cali, getting offered it from the store, you can save money as opposed to buying it secondhand where they sell it at a premium. But you're not really saving money if you're, you know, buying stuff that you don't like and then, yeah, thinking, oh, now I need to sell it to fund the Kelly. Like it's a bit of a gamble if you're going to go in thinking about it like that. So I would only recommend shopping from the store if you really don't care if you want to get offered a bag or not. You're just going in to buy stuff. And if there's like non-quota bags available, like then just buy them. But yeah, I would definitely just ask. Like it doesn't hurt to ask. And if they say no, then oh well, that's it. Like they literally get asked. They would get asked like 100 times a day, guys. So if they come across as a little bit like eye rolly, I wouldn't take it personally either, because it's literally something that they would get asked. And guys, working in luxury retail is not easy, okay? You get very traumatized from people screaming at you, from people demanding things, feeling entitled all the time. So honestly, I guess you have to have empathy for these sales associates as well and see the position that they're in. They're there to make money. They're there to perform. You have to kind of, I guess, be real as well and see that it's a business. They will reward clients that spend more money most likely. So, but you know, they do also like clients who have a passion and enthusiasm for their products too. And a lot of the sales associates that work there also really love the product, and they love, you know, connecting with people who also share that passion in the brand. And you know, I think that makes a really good sales associate, someone who really loves where they work and like what they're selling. You do often get sales associates as well that don't know anything about like what they're selling, and they don't have a passion, and maybe they're a little bit more skilled at just being a good salesperson. Honestly, there is people like that who are a little bit more manipulative. And you know, if you don't like the service you're getting or whatever at a certain store, whatever luxury store it is, you don't have to shop with that person. You can always walk away and, you know, shop with somebody else. Because I wouldn't necessarily get your heart set on, you know, getting offered a bag if you don't feel like the vibe is there with that sales associate or whatever. And honestly, guys, like sometimes it's just as easy as just walking in the store and you can get offered. But, you know, I know that it can be very competitive. And if you're feeling frustrated, honestly, I would just go secondhand. I know, and I would even just look at the website, guys. Like, you'd be surprised what pops up on there lately. So, guys, what do you recommend? Do you think it is worth shopping from the Hermes boutique, or are you somebody who just shops exclusively pre-loved now? I definitely do a bit of both, but recently I've been a bit more on the secondhand side, just because I do work at a secondhand store, so it makes it a little bit easier for me to access. Whereas I think for other people, you know, going the boutique route would be a bit of a safer choice, because there is, you know, you're getting a new piece as well, which is really nice. So anyways, thanks for listening to my video today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like if you liked it, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye!